Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom. Ooh.
Not you.
Where we talk all things reality TV. As you see, we have the best guest in the world here today. We have Tiffany Mother Queen Mitchell. Tiffany, how you doing today?
I am doing wonderful. I'm so glad that you guys invited me here. Thank you.
Yes, no problem. I'm glad you're here. We're glad you're able to sit here and talk with us about this season, child, or whatever.
Mm.
Lee, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. The girls have been sick. You probably can hear all up in my throat, nose, whatever. But we
It sounds like
here.
you sound like you're talking like this.
But we here, child. We made it, child. All right. So, as you see, we're going to be talking about week 9 in the Big Brother 24 house. We're going to be discussing what's going on in the house on this week's live feeds. And then we are going to get into the player ratings and rate these players for the week or whatever per. Let's just hop right into it. So, we started off the week and we see that Michael has won his third HOH, his 8th competition. Child, the man doesn't stop. The man doesn't give up. And I don't know why. Because if it was me, well, okay, at this point, I feel
He
like
has no
Michael,
choice.
he
Yeah.
has no choice. Just win the comps. Like, it's too late, baby.
Yeah.
But dang, 8, 9? Because he's at 9 now.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So
So,
he could be at 10, 11, 12.
so he wins the HOH and he decides that his targets are going to be Terrence and Alyssa. And this decision was kind of immediate. He talked to Brittany pretty quickly and he kind of decided that that's who he was going to be going with for his nominations. And Brittany initially was like, You mean Monty? And he was like, No, I said Terrence and I said Alyssa. And Brittany was like, Oh, okay, that's cute. And I don't know if I like this decision from him at all. At all. How do y'all feel about his decision to target Terrence?
I think he feels that Terrence is would be like the big D going to the end. And I don't know why, because Terrence has won some competitions and he's got out a big target, a big threat. He's got out he kind of I don't know, that whole Kyle situation. He skated through that. Um, I think that Michael has to honor his deal to Turner at this point. I don't know that I would have, but he did, and I understand. So Michael is really strategic. He's counting so many steps ahead. Um, he's playing advanced chess.
Mm-hmm.
He really is.
I agree. What you guys gonna
At
say?
first, I was like, I felt like the move was definitely for him, Turner or Monty. But at the end of the day, with the mess that has taken place this week, I mean, I guess he didn't have to because Brittany sat up here and did whatever the hell she did. So
She hypnotized them.
Literally. I don't know. I feel like what's that man name? Michael is too strategic for his own good in some instances because in my opinion, I think he overthought his decision this week. Because I feel like it was simple, baby. If you got to win these competitions, you need to take out Turner or Monty. If it was me, Turner would have had to go. I don't care if Turner evicted Kyle, saved Kyle, did this to Kyle. Turner was gonna have to go regardless for me because Turner was blatantly in this man's face in the backdoor him. And he didn't care. He put up Brittany and Taylor, his two closest allies that he just picked for the BB Fest, whatever the fuck.
Mhm.
And then it was just very obvious that you was finna get backdoored. And if it was me, Turner would have just had to go. I don't know.
But he does secure that jury vote with Turner by keeping his promise and
That's
keeping his word. And Turner can't use it against him because he's not touched the block. If Monty leaves, then Michael may feel he's the next big threat. So, and he's been working with Monty, so he probably doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be the one to do it, and he probably feels like he can get Monty to vote with him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's true. I see that. I really do see that perspective because even though I don't agree with this decision, I don't think it's such a big mistake, especially from what happened. Like Lee said, Brittany done did her hypnotization.
Yeah.
So it might have just he might be fine.
He's kind
So
of looking like he's still rolling with the leftovers. Like he's taken out Terrence, he took out Jasmine. He's taken out Terrence, who was not a part of it. So he kind of looks like he's still remaining loyal to the alliance that they had that was broken up, but he's still keeping them safe. So he's probably like, if they get in power, they'll keep me safe. He's honoring deals. This late in the game, you really deals are meant to be broken. It is Big Brother, but you just do have to be careful with what deals you break and with who you break them with, because they're going in the jury and that jury is already emotional. That jury is already playing a personal game. That jury has so much to think about. That vote weighs so heavy. So, he's trying to keep his hands as clean as he can.
Yeah, and honestly, to piggyback off that, like that's one of the reasons why Turner and Monty are thinking about not targeting him, because they feel like, well, he hasn't really lied to us, he hasn't really turned on us in any type of way, so that is reasons why he's keeping such allegiances, those certain allegiances in the house.
I do think he's going to turn on them, though. I do not.
He has to, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do not think that when he gets to the end, he's going to be. I don't think he's going to hesitate either. I think he will just come right out and be like, because he's thought about his speeches. He's thought about what to tell someone if they come at him about this. Like, he's worked out all the scenarios. So he knows he's going to have to cut somebody, and he's going to cut them, and he's going to have a very clear reason why it makes sense, and it should make sense to them that they're getting cut by him at this time. He's got it all. He's got his whole end game worked all the way through.
Because the real gag is he's probably like, I can beat whoever in here anyway. So it don't matter who stays, I'm with it.
Yeah, I'm sure he has worked out in his mind who should leave and when. I mean, that's you have to factor in as much as you can.
Exactly. So after he wins this HOH, he kind of makes his decision. This is when Brittany decides that this week she's going to do a lot. So Brittany's concept is that she created a concept a few weeks ago. And essentially she was like, I'm going to lose regardless, which honestly, she might not be wrong about that. And she said that since she's going to lose regardless, she would prefer to lose to Michael. So her goal since then has been ensuring that her and Michael can get to that final two so that she can lose, which is just so crazy to me. But that's her goal. So we get to this week, and this week, since it's becoming apparent that Michael's going to be the next target, probably Brittany is trying her best to, if Michael wins veto, make sure she's not the one to go home, and also try to make sure that both of them can just not be targeted at all. So she's going to start making a lot of final two deals. So before the veto happens, she walks around the house and essentially goes to every single person and starts making final two deals. She makes one with Alyssa. She makes one with Turner. She reinstates her one with Taylor. She even goes back to Michael and tries to reinstate it with Michael. And Michael's like, girl, please get out of my face. Like, what are you doing? And it's like, I don't know. Like, how do y'all feel about what Brittany's doing? Because
it's something called paranoia. Brittany is paranoid. The paranoia runs rampant. And when you get a thought in your head, you don't know if you should trust it or throw it out, And so she's like acting on everything that's in her head right now. She's going around talking too much, overplaying, lying, getting caught in lies, and it's not that many people in the house, so you really can't tell more than one person something without it getting out. Like, I'm scared to tell anybody anything. Like, definitely not telling you and you and you, and then saying, and don't tell anybody. Right. It's only 2 more people in here. Like 3 more. Who else am I tell? Everybody knows.
My thing is, Brittany, why has she not learned anything from those earlier weeks when she kept getting caught? Stop telling people that you're not actively working with information. Because you keep getting caught up, Brittany.
She thinks it's working, and she probably thinks that that's why she's still there. She thinks
I
that
hope
that's why
not.
she's still there. She thinks that she's playing a good game, a good
Yeah,
social
you heard
game.
she made the comment. She was like, "Oh yeah, all those people who laughed in pre-jury and stuff. That's because of me." Brittany is delusional.
I
And
didn't
she
hear
really
that.
believes it,
No,
which
I
is
didn't hear
crazy.
that.
She
That's
think it's
not the
Brittany's
truth. I
karma,
didn't
and
hear
not
that.
you know how we all say it's Taylor's karma. She
Yeah.
think it's Brittany's karma. Dead ass.
Oh,
The girl is delusional. That was she said
And-
like a few weeks back, like 2 or 3 weeks back.
okay. All right.
And
well,
it's so embarrassing. Like it's like
Very.
secondhand embarrassment. And y'all, I was like going hard for Brittany, y'all. And not even hard, but I was going soft
confused.
for her.
I was
No, and
confused.
listen. I'm a supporter of somebody who gonna like, be active and really, really try. But this girl just
I can't
it's
do
a
delusional.
lot.
I cannot do delusional.
It's a point where it's like I'm just gonna have to stop. I stopped standing like 2-3 weeks ago, but I was standing, and that was crazy.
Oh, Brittany?
Yes, girl. You remember I was on the winner circle, and I was like, I think Brittany could win, and I was just saying crazy stuff, and I don't know what I was.
You see how Tiffany don't even remember that bullshit?
I was like, I can't
I'm
believe
glad she
nobody. No, I'm just.
That's what I thought she said Brittany and winning.
No,
I thought you was
okay.
talking about my season, Brittany. I was like, yes,
Oh
man. I didn't know.
Yeah, Brittany D'Angelo, of course.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So this girl walks around and she basically makes a final 2 deal with everyone, reiterates previous final 2 deals. She's very paranoid, honestly. And it's just I'm not even gonna comment. So after this, we get to the veto competition. They're playing the veto, and I remember when the fees went down for the veto, I was thinking like, Michael ain't finna win this veto. Like, I ain't even worried about the record being the 5 veto record being broken. Like, I was like, you know what? This record cannot be broken. No one has broken it since Janelle, like for 20 years. So in my mind, I was really like, I'm not even worried. Like, no way. And then this man won it, and I was like, damn. Like, I
can't believe you were thinking that. I had my GIF already ready. I'm dead ass serious. I somehow felt like it was either Michael or Taylor was going to win. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I mean, either way it go, I was gonna use my GIF. I said, these people mad. I don't win.
I've been assuming that Michael will win every competition since like I've win every competition think he's gonna win.
That's so crazy though. How does he? I don't understand it because I remember it's funny because last season in BB23 there were so many people who was like Christian, DX, Kylan, Xavier, all of these people who could just win a lot of comps. And I'm so used to every season it being a couple.
Did you see my cast?
Yes.
Do you?
And then I see this cast.
Okay.
And it don't look the same. However,
I mean, Taylor belong on my cast.
And she really does. She dead ass does. She doesn't even fit in with this cast for me. This cast is just. I'm not gonna talk about it. But every season,
I'm not gonna talk about them neither. They have honestly, they was at the bottom, for a minute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They started off. I was excited to see him. I was excited, like, oh, I'm excited. And then I got so damn disappointed that they couldn't do nothing but get better.
Yeah, literally.
Right.
So now I'm like, okay, I'm all right.
I'm still not a fan. I'm not gonna lie.
At least they gave us like some good chaotic gameplay, which I'm always here for.
And that's it. Because Michael the only one winning comps, Taylor's the only likable one. Other than that, they don't have anything. But hey, we move. So Michael wins the veto. We come back and he this is when Brittany is going to try again to try to push the agenda that Monty and Turner are a duo, which they kind of are, and the fact that one of them should go. So she mentions this again to Michael, and Michael again kind of shuts it down. And I'm just not a fan of Michael shutting it down. I'm really not, because one thing about me, like, I'm not in the game. I ain't never played, but me, I'm gonna make the move. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm gonna make the move. Like, Tiffany, if this was your HOH, you was literally Michael. You're literally in Michael's position. You know you can win these comps. Mm-hmm. Are you gonna take out who are you gonna take out? And be for real.
Well, like I said, I think Michael has his game planned all the way to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Some people I think somebody like Monty was like, I'm just trying to get through this week. Like some people don't plan further out and you really need to. I don't know what Michael sees. I know my season when the master plan had a process, eviction, like a
Mm-hmm.
process of eviction. We knew who should go when. And he may feel like I need this person to go and then this person to go and then this person to go.
Mm-hmm.
He could honestly just be building his own jury.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's going to mess him up is if Terrence is to taint it, like he said,
To successfully taint it.
to successfully. Yeah.
I don't think he. I don't. I don't know.
I don't think it's a non-zero chance that Terrence can take the jury, just because I feel like if Terrence goes in, right, we all know Terrence is Mr. Black Lives Matter now. So he's gonna go in, still wanting to educate Kyle or why his actions was wrong.
No, he ain't. He don't give a damn about that.
I think Terrence will. He was doing it in the house.
I think he will performatively do so in order to.
It's not going to matter. There's no cameras in there.
I think it's for him. I think he thinks.
Exactly. I think it's for him. I think it's for Joseph.
I think he thinks
for the audience.
He want to go be the grown man.
Exactly.
Right.
He got to go discipline this man
boy.
and teach him something. He got to learn him something.
Exactly.
But really, he's a little boy, and that's the problem.
And I feel like what will end up happening is, because Kyle already feels a way about Michael as well, I could see them two telling the others about the situation, and then Jasmine and Indy and things kind of being convinced. Like, I could see them working that jury, and if Turner comes in next or if Monty comes in after, I don't see them really just disagreeing. I don't think it's impossible. If he had taken out Monty and Turner this week, it definitely would have happened. Because I guess.
See, that's okay. So I was thinking this last night. Like, if he feels that Terrence is going to go in and taint the jury, and that Monty will go in right behind him and possibly follow that up, he probably wants to keep Monty longer. He probably wants to keep him in the house to wear some of that off. Time goes by. There's like a week is a month in the Big Brother house. So keeping Monty another week reestablishes that relationship, builds it, kind of makes him not so emotional, like, because it's been some time. Let it wear off a little bit. So I don't think that he's going to want Monty to go out right after Terrence.
I see that.
I think he's going to want Turner to go, or Alyssa.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting because I feel like this is like a concept that doesn't get talked about a lot. And I think choosing your jury is very, very important in those first 5 weeks of the pre-jury. It's really important to choose who goes in there, because I feel like if there's a situation where the jury doesn't vote for Michael, I think it's because of him not having an Amira in that jury, or someone in that jury who's more strategic minded, who's more strategic.
He said, I'm gonna go off, but I'm gonna still be here.
Damn, I forgot. I think it's important for in that jury for you to have strategic people if you're gonna play a strategic game or a game where you're gonna take people out, because him having, like Lee said, him having Indy, Jasmine, Terrence all in that jury, they're dumb. I hate to say it. They're really just not.
That's not talking to me.
Because no, they're really dumb. Like, they're really not there mentally and strategically. So for him to allow them to have made jury, I think that could be an issue, because when you see these bitter juries, it's usually full of players who are not strategically capable. Like, look at BB19, no shade, but Raven, well, they weren't even bitter, but them girls were not them girls. And it's like, you need to make sure the jury is full of people who are willing to respect the game. Who respect the game. And these people do not.
I think that's why he was so uncomfortable in the beginning. I think people were going home that he felt he wanted to keep in the game.
And that was the biggest difference, I feel like, from 23 to 24. Like, where are the super fans? Where are the people who actually care about Big Brother? Like, it was so interesting watching y'all on 23, because y'all all knew the game. Y'all was speaking about past seasons so much. It was just so interesting because you all respected the game so much. This season, I mean, they don't even know about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, some people watch the show, they watch the show, and some people play the game,
Exactly.
Right.
so there's a
And these
difference.
people did neither. So
No shade.
Brittany tried to pitch that Monty or Turner should go, and honestly, Michael just got annoyed with her, and he was like, "Please stop talking to me." Honestly, shout out to Michael. No shade to Brittany. No shade to Brittany. I love you. I was standing you a few weeks ago, but shout out to Michael because him being her closest ally is
Yeah.
interesting, considering the way that she plays the game is so different.
Yeah, that makes
And I,
sense to me. I'll tell you why in a minute. Go ahead.
And I just think it's interesting that he's able to work with someone who's so different than him when it comes to the game. And I kind of credit him for that because it's hard for people to work with people who aren't like-minded. You gravitate towards like-minded individuals in that game. So for Michael to stick with Brittany for so long, I kind of applaud him, like because that girl is just different from him, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know if it was intentional, it's strategic, it just happened. If he just really is a patient person or he intentionally put that relationship together because of their differences. And I say that because you really don't, even in life, you don't just need a bunch of people around you who think exactly like you. I personally prefer to have friends who are objective and will see things differently than me and will be able to have a conversation with me about how they see it and how we are thinking or seeing differently and it not be an issue. And so I think him having somebody who is totally opposite and going about things differently than he is helping him because um he's like, I think this way. And he's probably thinking very logical. He's like, she's totally emotional. And she's probably one of the most emotional people in there. So let her run around here like she is doing and come back with the shit that I'm not going to think about. Oh my God. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. Let me throw my cell phone. Do not disturb. I am so sorry.
It's okay.
Did I jump out?
No, you
Uh-uh.
flashed a little bit, but you good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I think that whether it's intentional or not, it's happened, but it is, he obviously is embracing it because they're still working together. And it is just good to have somebody who doesn't think in the way you do or see things that the way you doing isn't always going to be like, okay. She comes back, she's like, no, I think this, wrong or not, whether he does anything about what she thinks or not, he still gets a different view.
Mm-hmm. And I think I like that about Brittany, and I also like their dynamic because it's so drastic. Like you said, she's gonna come and do what she's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
So I like them together as a dynamic, and I think it does help because as you see, after Brittany suggested what she suggested, Michael was like, "Girl, no." She decided that she was gonna go around and start lying to everybody, and that's a and that's a very interesting choice. But
Let me help us out.
yeah.
I feel like she only started doing that too, mainly because she wanted Michael to be safe moving forward, which is so interesting to me. Because it's like,
I think it's both.
I think it's both. But at the end of the day, Michael needs it. Like it's not Brittany. Like to say Brittany can't win, Brittany can win. Everyone can win at this point in the game. You know what I mean? So it's the fact that she is still trying to hold on to him. To me, it's just like, you gotta let him go at some point. Like, you're asking to get second at this point.
Some people want to be like, oh, I play this loyal type of game. Or she could just be attached.
She just wants to be second. She just wants to be second because she told Micah to his face, if you go home, I think Turner will be my next final two because he's the second likely to win the game. She just wants to be in final two.
And that's so crazy because the reason
it's terrifying,
she wants to get
Tiffany.
Carried. She wants to get carried.
That Britt Slee for a reason. Britt Slee for a reason.
But she wouldn't want to go to the end with Taylor.
Of course
she don't want Taylor to carry.
Not another woman. Of course not.
No.
It's interesting because, like you're saying, Lee, I agree that she could win. Anybody could win, and I don't even think it was that hard for Brittany to win if she wasn't playing like this for the last 3 weeks. And the reason that I was capping for her and I was saying that she had a potential to win is because I always assumed she was just going to allow, or I didn't think she would put in work to prevent Michael from going home. So I thought Michael was going to naturally go home. And then after he naturally goes home, she has the ability to accidentally win. No shade. You know what I'm saying? And that was always her winning path. But she's deciding to actively play against her only winning path to make sure Michael's there with her so she can for sure lose. And I can't get behind that. She even says, she's like, maybe I can get second, look stupid, and come back for All-Stars like Cody. Baby, you're not Cody. No shade.
Hey, you're not coming back, babe.
Well, aside, if you back up like 5 seconds and you go back to she wants to sit next to somebody, it sounds like I want to sit next to the strongest competitors, and it's
Who that
giving
sound like
Kylan.
you? Yeah.
Oh.
But I told Kylan straight to his face. I was like, I don't really understand that when he was on this podcast.
Brittany
I still don't
does.
understand it.
Brittany is like, I want to go to the end with the toughest competitor and sit next to them.
But Brittany's not Kylan. Like Brittany, not even
No,
Brittany.
I need to apologize for my indiscretions and my misspeaking. I want to say I said it's giving. It's not giving. It's not Kylan. I'm so
It's at
sorry.
all.
It's not giving at all, but the concept is there, the same concept, and it's interesting because a lot of players do have this kind of concept. Christmas is another example. These aren't players that I'm necessarily, the most fond of, because I like a player who's going to take out the competitors, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of players in the past who have decided, I want to go to the end where all the strong people can get to the end. And then even like a Caleb from BB16, it's like they're okay with going to the end with the stronger competitors. And Brittany doesn't fit the category of player who I feel like could succeed in that type of. I just don't understand. I really don't understand why she's doing this. But we got to talk about Brittany a lot this week because she was the only one. She was doing a lot.
No, that's not true. That's not true. There was a whole other game going on in the house this week.
With who?
With the Chinese checkers.
Child. Nah, I didn't know about that game.
Tiffany, tell us about it.
Let me just tell you, that was the worst game they could have brought into the Big Brother house. You might as well just bring Monopoly if we can just play games. Like,
I was literally.
Why don't y'all get real? Like, why can't y'all play real?
Because we're supposed to socialize, and if you're so busy playing a game, you just may not socialize and think about the game. So they have proven that to be true because Chinese checkers just takes over the conversation, and it's literally like it's this the whole time.
I never watch. I don't understand how Chinese checkers even work.
I'm a fan of chess.
I'm not about to watch nobody play Chinese.
Literally, I like chess. I like watching chess.
Do they even have a chessboard this season, or do they know how to play?
I've not seen anybody.
They always play Chinese checkers, and I can't get behind it. Y'all need to just get them a deck of cards.
Yeah, just let them play Uno or something so they can argue.
And something. Yeah,
honestly, get mad. Like, we don't play like that in here. This is a house rule. I said, if I throw down the draw two, you throw down the draw two.
Okay, wait. So, Tiffany, all y'all had was chess. Y'all got cards one day, didn't y'all?
No, Claire had that deck of cards, but we couldn't play with them.
Why? Okay, but I really don't get it. I feel like if y'all get an hour regulated of card play, it would be fine because y'all don't be doing that anyway. Sometimes, like some of the time,
really
there's
supposed
down
to be gaming. We're really we get like little hand puzzles and stuff like that. Well,
Well, so when y'all were doing like nightly games, were production upset with y'all for doing that, or did they enjoy that?
We could do whatever we wanted to do. That's socializing. Yeah, we could do that. We could do that, but we never had the only game we really had, I think, was chess. Unless we were outside, we had the one game I hated playing.
foosball or the
Something like that.
that and y'all have the
Which thing
pool
where you throw
table
the
too.
ball?
Yeah.
We throw the
So
ball.
what, they haven't been upstairs. Do they still have the pool table upstairs? I never see
Uh,
them
I
playing
don't know.
around that.
In the middle section, right?
Yeah.
Upstairs in the middle section.
The
I
little
don't really
bumper
know.
pool?
Oh,
I
they
have
have something. They have bumper pool. They do have bumper pool.
I have not seen anybody play bumper pool, and I would
In a
rather watch
minute.
them play bumper pool than Chinese checkers.
Yes. So they're playing.
Okay. Anyway,
Brittany.
sorry, Brittany. Sorry. I was
Brittany.
trying to talk about something interesting.
Right. Because. So she goes to Alyssa and Taylor. Alyssa Taylor and her have a conversation about the girls getting to the end. And this shit pisses me off. I'm not a woman, so I don't want to speak too much on it, but it really does piss me off when the girls' alliances start to form, and then it's always something. It's always something. Tiffany, I feel like it's better for you to speak on this because you are a woman.
Yeah. I had a couple of girl alliances, but we always knew that we had the cookout. So all of our other alliances were just like faux alliances, really. I don't know why it is so intimidating when guys hear that there's a all girl alliance. But they will have an all male alliance. Like all the men don't have to team up against the women. Y'all don't have to team up against us to win. Like we definitely need all of us to beat you guys. Like y'all just are stronger at things that we're not. So it's kind of unfortunate that the men get so intimidated when they hear that. And then the girls just ultimately want to work with guys. I do think that if you had a house that the girls kicked out the guys and it was just the girls in there, you'd see a totally different game. Like a house of women and no guy. I don't know that we know what to do, but maybe. I mean, we would, of course, but it would be it would be crazy. Like we probably would just get along. Because there's nobody to like. There's no testosterone in there. It's like we don't care. We would probably look like shit too. So, like, girl, you gonna do your hair? No, bitch. No. Are you looking? Who here? Does she care? Do you care? Because I don't care.
Right. It's crazy because the last time we saw a lot of women in the end of the game was BB6, which was freaking 20 years ago. Wow. With Janelle and them, and they didn't even like Janelle, and that was crazy. But it's just been so long, and honestly, like that's just something that I wish could happen more often. Because, like you said, the guys really just get intimidated, and it's like, why are you afraid? Like, please calm down.
Because you need me. What kind
of
woman don't need me? Why y'all don't need no man? What you mean you don't need no man?
Literally, that's crazy. Monty and Turner, or whoever,
women think they gonna beat us.
They literally had conversations, literally saying that. Literally saying, why don't the girls want to work with us? Why has Taylor not wanted to work with me this whole time? Why do the girls think that it's better to work with each other instead of us strong men?
I hate how he tries to. I just don't understand why these alliances form based on gender. Like, how do you think you're going to get to the end? Monty, you have won one competition.
A letter opening competition.
Right.
You had, like, be for real, Monty. You ain't get shit to get here. Sit down.
And let's not get into that man because I don't even like that man. But so Brittany they're talking about this girl's alliance, and she goes and tells Turner. Why? I don't know why.
Why did she pull the Frenchie strategy? Create a girl's alliance just to go snitch on it?
Literally Frenchie. This is crazy.
Come on, Frenchie's impact a year later. What?
I don't think that was even her intention. I think she was going along with something with the girls at the moment. Probably was like, okay, whatever. Then got with Turner and could not keep her mouth shut.
Whomever
I think it just came out.
It's like word vomit.
Whoever she's talking to at the time is who she like she hypnotizes herself.
No, damn.
To thinking that she's genuinely in agreement with whoever she's talking to. So when she talks to Turner, in her mind, she's genuinely wanting to go to final two with Turner. when she's talking to Michael. In her mind, she wants to go to Final Two with Michael. When she's talking to Alyssa and Taylor, in her mind, she wants
she's really just trying to make sure that whoever makes it is going to take her.
To lose.
Really,
so that she can be the one to lose. That's the crazy thing. Like she's so much
like,
work to
I'd
lose.
rather just lose in second place.
Hey, losing. So she tells Turner about
this
girl's alliance. and this is when Turner is like, let's make a boys alliance. This was not a good idea, I don't believe, because Brittany just exposed this alliance to you. So clearly it's not real. There's only 3 women in the game. It's top 6. You're thinking too much about it. And Michael has broken at this point. No, tied. Well, he broke the veto record, which there's still 2 more vetoes, tied the competition record in Big Brother history with 9 competitions. He's only played in not all of them. And
he's out of 14.
Yeah. Yes, 9 out of 14. And you worried about Alyssa. Be fucking for real. Like, be serious. So he got so scared and his testosterone got challenged a little bit. His masculinity got slightly challenged. So he ran to his buddy Monty. And he told Monty, he said, Monty,
Monty.
He said, sir, we have to do something about this, because the way Turner approaches his relationships in the game is he finds one man to be the closest to. At first it was Pooch, then it was Kyle, now it's Monty, and he lets that man decide his moves in the game. And
he completely abandoned his relationship with Alyssa this week. Alyssa was a player that was on his side 100%.
She was the whole time.
He could have had Alyssa, and he decided to let Monty have him. And it's like,
this is a different house. They have been so disconnected from each other. Like, they do not care. They're like, it's your turn to go under the bus. Okay, and now it's your turn to go under the bus. I mean,
they do not care.
It is better to be able to play with no emotion than to play with a lot of emotion, like a lot of feelings about people and caring about people. Honestly, go in there and not give a fuck.
Honestly, I guess that's the case. They all hate each other when you think about it.
But do you think we gonna segue because this is boring. Do you think, Tiffany, that you should go in there and genuinely not have emotion? Because from what I saw, you did have a lot of emotion about certain players in the game. I think that really helped you. So do you genuinely think that going in there with no emotions or attachments could really help? Or be?
I don't know how to not make emotional connections with people that I care about. So but I think that in a game like that, if I could separate or, not get so emotionally invested in the people and recognize, like, everybody gotta go. But you do have to live there and you want to have fun and you don't want to. When Brent said, y'all kicking out all the personality, it's going to be boring in here. I really thought about that. I said, this is a long time to be in a house that's boring as hell. And I really started thinking about who could go and who I needed to stay. And I was like, hey, certain people can't leave too early in the game because I can't be bored in here. I hate being bored.
Yeah.
I understand. So what do you think? What's up, Lee?
I was gonna say I can definitely see that could be hard because I'm sitting here thinking, like, imagine you did have like the alliance that you was working with, and it was you, Claire, DX, Colin, and Hannah in top 5, and like let's say you were HOH, like what would you have even felt comfortable doing in that situation? Like, what did you do? You gotta put 2 of them up instant with a whoa.
Okay, let's run through that. That's the scariest thought of my life. I'm HOH, and then it's Claire, DX, Hannah, Kai.
Right.
Claire, DX, Hannah, Kai and DX going on the block.
DX on the block.
Because me and these girls can battle it out. At that point, we got 2 guys. Okay. One of them got to go, and so then I might not put.
Okay, but when Colin win the veto, what you gonna do?
Well, DX
when DX win the veto.
Okay. Listen. DX would not be my target that week
Okay.
because at that point, Kai would be the person that I didn't trust the most, even though he would have wanted to be the person that I did trust the most. I don't know that I would have. So he would have been my target. And I probably wouldn't have put DX on the block. I would probably put like Hannah on the block or Claire, because I know DX will vote to keep Claire, Hannah will vote to keep Claire, and then Kai would go. Now, if I put Kai and Claire on the block and Kai wins Veto, then DX goes up.
Okay, I see. I have a question. Me and Lee have talked about this a lot. Do you think if Final 3 was hypothetically you, DX, and Kyland, do you think DX would have taken you to Final 2 in that scenario?
And back in the game, yes.
Okay. But now, no, is what you said. Okay. Because in the game, I always perceived Derek X as he would always choose you over like a Kylan, even though that was a slight tug of war. So I always felt like DX going to the end.
I'm tired of fighting him for stuff. I keep having to fight him for stuff. I'm tired of fighting Kai for stuff that's mine. And he just keep coming for it. It's cool. So he got DX from me. That's cool. Well, DX loves me, but that's why I'm glad he got Claire. I said, neither one of us.
If Kylan comes back to play again, you think Kylan could win the game? Be honest.
No.
Damn, for real. Be for real. You think why? Because he's always gonna be like, I gotta take the best, or what's up? Or why?
No,
why
ain't nobody gonna let him.
Oh, really?
No.
I don't think he that.
It would have to be a recurring season. It would have to be a full recurring season.
Yeah, no, he is. He is a threat. Sorry, Kai.
Interesting. No, it's a compliment if you're calling him a threat. I never perceived him as. Why are we talking about a whole different? I never perceived him as if he returns that the general fan would necessarily care that much to get him out, considering the fact that other returnees will most likely be there. Like if you're there and Kai's there, you gotta go. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? So wait a minute,
wait. Rewind the tape.
Not for me.
You said so in a house, if I'm there and Kai's there, then I have to go?
In my opinion, I wouldn't take you out, Queen, because if I get on and we play,
why me before him?
Tiffany, you know damn well.
Be for real. No, okay. And you know what? I will say this about you, Tiffany. Watching you play, I could tell the way you think is not the way that the general population thinks. I don't believe you perceive things the same way that a lot of other people do. I don't think I do either, I will say. But I do think that if I was there, I wouldn't take you out because I plan on playing and playing again. So if we play together, I got you, Queen. But hypothetically...
I ain't got a long time. Shoot.
Hypothetically, if you were there and Colin was there and I'm HOH, I'm taking you out.
Damn.
I am. I just feel like when it comes to the game, it's clear who the better player is. No shade. So I feel like that's an important thing to factor in. And I think perception is reality. And I think your perception leaving that game was just way greater than anyone else's. And it really diminishes every other player. Even though Kylan is a great player overall, I think, you're welcome. Even though Kylan is a great player, I think the fact that there was such a phenomenal player in that season being you, it makes everyone else from that season's threat level kind of go down a little bit, which is beneficial to them if they do ever play again. I think so. But I don't know. I could be overthinking. People could take them out first.
No, they should not absolutely consider me a threat. That was a fluke. They should only want to keep me there, honestly, because
Let me stop saying smart stuff.
I'm getting older. And that means I'm not so, I'm not really catching up on things, they...
Okay, let me shut up. So this podcast don't get released and people be thinking how I'm thinking. Tiffany, honestly, I think everyone should take you to final three because you probably wouldn't win that last competition.
Saying
So if I was there,
math is not my thing.
I
I
would
can't
literally
remember
take
the
you to final
days.
three. I would take you all the way to the end because honestly, I feel
Yes.
like I could beat you
appreciate
in that final three HOH, and we would be good. And then I can go to final two with the other
I
person.
tell anybody what they should know about me is that final three, I'm not even equipped. I'd be the best person to take the final three.
You know what? I'm gonna be delusional with you today. But once the podcast ends, we will discuss. So what was he talking about? Damn, Brittany asked. She snitches on the girls' alliance. She tells Turner. Turner tells Monty and Michael. And so now this new alliance has formed between Turner, Monty, and Michael. And I don't know what now three of them are thinking. I think Michael playing in their face, but Turner and Monty are dead ass, which is crazy because why are y'all dead ass? Like, why are y'all so for real right now?
Like they genuinely are thinking like maybe we do not take him out even if we have the shot next week. Like what?
Well, because they're looking at Alyssa sitting next to people and they're looking at the relationships people have in the jury. Because none of them besides Michael and Taylor at this point have played truly phenomenal games. Turner has a couple of what does he have? 2 HOHs?
2 HOHs.
Yeah.
That got ran by other people.
But this is very, 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 very true. And I think even Turner knows that. So, Turner has to count his relationships in the jury to get him votes. Taylor is somebody who they expected had no relationships in the jury, but now I'm sure they're like, oh, damn, she's still there and I'm here. So I got to really think about this. And every time somebody walks in the door, it's not her. And she's not walking in the door tomorrow either. So, she's gaining some respect, even if she didn't have relationships. So I think that they're thinking about Alyssa's sway with the jury and them voting for her over Terrence.
I can see it. And I said that I think it was last week. Alyssa has a shot because of her relationship because she got Kyle, and I do think she could have Jasmine and Indy depending on who she's next to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they make this boys alliance. The goal for Turner is for Taylor to go next week. The goal for Monty is for Alyssa to go next week. And Michael don't really care about this alliance.
He like, I won't put you guys up next the week after too. Like we're good after that, man. If he get that next if he get past this double, first of all, he didn't win the game. I don't think he's losing any other competition. So if he gets past this double, he is definitely putting them up the next HOH he gets.
I agree. So there was a lot of other stuff that happened throughout this. Essentially, Brittany's pitter-pattering got clocked. The girls figured out
very quickly,
like literally the next day. And
because it's Turner having a conversation with Alyssa, and then Alyssa, he tells her that Brittany formed this girls' alliance.
Correct. And Alyssa, and then he tells Taylor. So he talks to Monty. He's like, "Can I tell Taylor?" They're like, "Yes," because he has to ask permission.
Well, Monty tells Taylor first.
Oh, okay. Monty told Taylor.
Yeah, when they were sitting outside on the patio, Monty and Taylor had a talk. Yep. And then she wanted to see if Brittany was going to say that she had talked to Turner, and Brittany kept saying she didn't talk any game to Turner. She's like, touched her for a little bit, but nothing really. Yeah. And then Taylor got upset, tried to go to the DR. She knew Michael was in there. She went and laid down. Brittany
everybody keep lying to her.
Yeah.
And Brittany lying to her makes sense.
Yeah, and that really hurt her, you could tell. And so that opened up the door for her to listen to Terrence make his pitch about him staying and him promising her that he got her back and he ain't gonna put her on the block, and the only way she sit on the block is if she walk past it and sit down by mistake, but he is not gonna do it. And he knows that they had some issues, but he always had her shorty, always had you shorty. Right. And so she usually does not give him the time of day, but She had time today, and she listened. She listened. She heard. She was listening to what he was saying. She almost was like really considering, like, should I do this? Like, is this what it's? Should I consider this move? Then he let her know that Monty was in the after party,
which information she did not know.
She said, "Now I know too much." And I hate when I know too much,
listen,
and I
everyone's
don't. I'm
game
with
was
her.
spilled to Taylor.
I know. I was just gonna say I love the way that she took in this information because even though she felt some type of way about Brittany being Brittany, she is still actively telling Monty, well, she still got to go to Final 3 with us because she's gonna lose the competition, and she's still actively okay with Brittany being in the end with her because she knows that's gonna be the best person to beat.
But that's why she's bothered. She's bothered because stuff like that, those moves and the things that she just heard that Brittany is doing are the things that make you want to send somebody home. But she knows that having Brittany there gets her closer to a win. And so she's like, I'm so pissed. I would kick you out of this house right now because that shit you doing is stupid, but I need to win. And so I got to keep you and look at you and wonder what you running around this house thinking you hypnotizing people and you just messing up your own game. But luckily she did almost bring Taylor down with it, because when Turner found out about the girls alliance and then he went to Monty with it and they came up with this guys alliance and they were talking about Taylor was going to be out on the double, but then he found, then it was her trying to make this final two, and then Turner found out that she tried to make a final two with Alyssa, and he's like, oh, she's just doing whatever with everybody. And so
and I'm glad this came out about Brittany too, because I feel like that was the last blind spot for Taylor. She was one of the last people who had been actively still talking behind her back. For the last,
no, she's talking behind her back.
Oh yeah, the negative.
She just knows she gaming behind her back.
Right, that's true. Because these last few weeks, she's been trying to bring up all of these, I feel like, unnecessary things about Taylor's personality and bring them into the game. Like even this week, she was like, "Oh,
what does Taylor value?
Taylor's TV moves, looking like a feminism."
You missed how Taylor values feminism. She said it like twice, if not 3 times too. I said, "Girl, jump on another
surface, surface level, like who do you think you've been living with this girl for 60-something damn days and you don't know shit about her?
Are you still trying to figure it out, girl? Be fucking for real.
It really just shows, like, girl, this is what, like, none of these girls is girls. Like,
so you think you about to you think all of a sudden you're about to game her into doing something for you through feminism when you already have a relationship with her. You don't even have to game her. Let me tell you
something. Ask her how her day is going, girl. It's not hard.
One thing I don't like in this life, this real life, that TV life, that reality life, don't try to game me. Like, my daddy used to be like, how you gonna play me? No, don't try don't try to game me. Don't try. I don't like that shit. Like, play the game, but don't never, ever think you gaming me.
And did you feel like that in your season ever?
No.
Because did nobody ever try you? I know that's right.
No, but I think people like, I'm just a real person. Like, I don't do the fake shit. Like, come at me for real. And I think people just know that. And so you're going to be uncomfortable trying to come at me with some fakeness. Like, just don't. I will say I did know that I had lost Kai. And it's not because he tried to play me, but he was talking to me different. And his reception to me was different. And I was like, I think I'm in trouble. Interesting. But never felt like, oh, somebody was trying to game me. Somebody was trying to play me. Like they was pulling something over my eyes. No, I didn't feel like that.
And they never really were. That's the tea.
But yeah, I just think Brittany's a weirdo, or the fact that it's like you sat up like, but it's like she sat up here was like, oh, we're definitely not using race as a strategy. Like we're definitely not doing that. No, we can't be seen as doing that. But it's like I think it's very clear that's what the fuck he was doing because you don't even like Taylor, and you clearly do not mind using feminism as a way to get closer to her.
I don't know that she doesn't like her, and because I'm not gonna say you can't like a person and be jealous of them. I do think that she is jealous of Taylor. I think that she sees a lot in Taylor that she admires, that she does like, that she is like probably feeling insecure in some areas about herself when she looks at her.
Yeah.
I wanted to say such
no shade.
No, I mean, no, and my thing is
the fuck.
I mean, I'm not saying that she does. I'm just saying that she shows that she's not fully happy with herself. And she says things to the camera that make you that confirm that. She's like, I tried out for this game. I tried out for this show 10 years ago, and I should have got on then. And now I'm not a spring chicken and blah blah blah. I mean, okay, join the club. That's we signed. You said yes, but then you come here, and I think she does like Taylor, but I think that Taylor is a lot of things that she's not. And so she's jealous of that. And she just wants to, it's almost like it's so beautiful and I want to see it and be around it and touch it and know it, but it's too beautiful and I don't deserve it. And I don't want to see it because it reminds me of everything that's not beautiful about me or that I don't think is.
That's exactly what it is. You ate that. Ooh.
That is exactly what it is. And like we've said it before, I genuinely think this is one of the most insecure casts ever. No shade, but the girls
and they just take it out on Taylor.
Yeah. And Taylor's very secure. And I feel like that's why she did
What's
belong
not
in
to be secure
cast.
About?
Right. Like when you're the it girl.
When you look like mother.
You just get it. It's crazy though. But no, this cast is very, very, very extremely insecure. The lot of them, like I genuinely would only say Taylor's the only one who is not, or at least doesn't exude it because everyone has their insecurities. Let's be honest, literally every single person. Yes. However, I feel like in this
y'all didn't see me cry when I didn't know those math problems.
Oh, okay, yeah. Tiffany, but
no, Tiffany was serious about her math problem.
Shit, I was that. Listen, that was an insecurity of
you
mine for real.
You were for real. I genuinely think I felt like with you,
bro, I couldn't add 5 and 8.
No, but I genuinely feel like you were just good at everything. So every time you like said something that you weren't good at, I thought you were just saying that for them to be like, oh,
sometimes,
okay,
but not that math.
Not that
math, baby.
I'm right here with you.
I wish I did know some math. I would rattle that. I would be like all day long. Just play with some numbers with me if you want to.
That is so interesting. There's some people I just feel like they're good at everything. And
I think that's also creates an insecurity. I am good at a lot of things. Majority of the things that I try to do, I'm good at. So when I'm not good at something, because I won't say I'm great at everything, I am still though great at a lot of things, more things than I'm not. Don't let me just be quiet.
No, finish.
No, please keep going, please.
Finish.
I love it.
I'm just saying when I'm not good at something, it really hurts my feelings. Like I don't like. I'm mad about it. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean I can't do that? Especially when it comes to thinking. Like to me, I can learn anything that I want, and I can figure it out. If it's figure outable, I'm going to figure it out. So when you tell me 5 and 8 always equal, is it 13?
I don't know.
It's 13.
Yes.
And I'm supposed to know that like that. And then you ask me tomorrow, what is it? And I can't remember it. And it like the way I want to, I'm frustrated because that seems so simple to me. I used to go to sleep in that house doing math problems in my head. I remember waking up one morning like I was in the 5th grade, and I woke up and I ran to DX bed because I was sleeping in the side room, and he was in the open room, but he was still asleep. And so I went to the bathroom and I brushed my teeth, and I came back, and he was kind of waking up, and I was like, I want him to wake up because I know my math problems now. I want him to test me. Like, yeah, I was dead ass serious about that. Because I do so many things well. It's uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable space for me to not. So I don't like it.
I see. Math is so interesting. Some people just get it. Some people just don't. That shit is
My
crazy.
family would be like, yeah, because you're competitive. You don't like to look. To me, that's a loss. I'm like,
But I was just gonna say, I felt like when you got evicted, you were just so gracious about the situation. So it just didn't seem like you didn't like your competitiveness really didn't show in that moment because you didn't seem upset. In my opinion, at least when it came to that. Like, ooh, let's not talk about a child. But you
no,
did
I'll
not
tell you,
seem
that
upset.
morning was I don't my wrath is silent. So I don't go on a screaming, yelling, fighting, cussing, breaking, throwing spree. I actually, when I'm quiet, that's when it's a problem. 'Cause I just am so vocal. And when I'm quiet and I don't have nothing to say, it's like a storm. It's like you don't even want to be in my way. And it's not me. You can just feel it. You can see it all over me. You like, yeah, I'm about to.
Right.
And so that's how I was. I was just ice cold, like don't nobody talk to me. I felt so bad. I always took somebody's stuff with me. Hannah came and tried to give me like this cover up. Um she was no, it was my cover up. She was like, "Here, Tiff, this is yours." I was like, "I don't want that." Went right back to packing my stuff. Like I'm busy. I don't want that. And then I felt so bad. So yeah, I was, but then I realized that I love these people. It is a game. I had a great experience. Somebody's got to go. There's a reason behind everything. And I always try to take everything with a grain of salt. I know that there's a reason for everything happening. And whether I like the way it's going right now, when I look as the whole journey is already put together and I'm just living it. So I really try not to stress about anything not going my way. I always try to accept that this is the way things have to be in order for me to get to where I'm going. And so I was like, it is what it is. I don't want to leave like that because I knew that walking out of that door like that, however I walked out of that door, I knew I would never get it back. And I didn't want to get to the jury house and be thinking about how I left and what I didn't say and what I didn't get. I actually love those people. So I was like, I want to leave and be proud of the way I left and be and have some closure when I'm in the jury house to not feel like I wish I could do that again.
I see.
I see that.
But this
That's
is not my
really
show. Go ahead. We is on a whole nother
it is.
season. This
No,
is
it
old.
is. It
Hey,
is today. It's your show today. So we good. So going into this double eviction, it's very important to kind of see how everything is going. And honestly, it's kind of all over the place. So we have 7 players left in this game. It's gonna be 6 because Terrence is gonna go. Wait, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
last
Shit.
night I was thinking he might not go.
Yeah,
Well, he had a
But
chance, but
yeah, I was thinking, but I think after today, I think he's going.
that's
Mhm.
solidified. Which I'm happy about. No shade. I
Yeah.
don't.
Okay. I ain't gonna lie. This is a hot take.
Uh-oh.
When I was listening to Terrence's pitch, it was a couple of things. As a player, I love to see if somebody's pitch is going to work. Like,
Mhm.
are you gaming? Because if you get somebody to change their mind, like my mind is made up, you actually make me. I'm like, but see, Taylor has known that Terrence has the ability to get in people's heads. So
Yeah.
he wanted to, he tried, and he was in there, but she was like, but no, I'm in here.
Mhm.
And I already know that you tricky. So I'm not gonna let you trick me. So she didn't. But I thought about seeing a Taylor Monty Terrence at the end, and I ain't gonna lie, it would be something about turning my TV on at the final 3
You know.
and seeing them play it out. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm
I
not
see the
gonna.
visual. I definitely see it.
It
And
piss people off again.
no, right. No.
Exactly.
Again and again and
Again.
again and
And this
again.
time, unintentional, not on
Right.
purpose. You
Right.
can't say they came in there and did this, but then people will be like, "Oh, they just gonna win anyway, so we got to kick them out." So it's unfortunate.
Mhm.
But then I'm also like, Michael Taylor in the final two. Oh, but go
That's
ahead.
gonna
This
be
your
a
show, not mine. I'm gonna sit back.
No, it's funny because I was literally thinking the same thing, and honestly, I just forgot to say it because I don't care about that man. But I genuinely felt like Terrence's pitch. No, I just felt like Terrence's pitch was pretty damn good. When I was reading yesterday on Twitter, I was like, if I was in that game and he was pitching to me like this, I would probably want him out more because it was a good pitch. But the fact that it was such a good pitch, it made me feel like, dang, like I could see him convincing Taylor. I could see him convincing even a turn. Like he knew what to say to the right people. He even went to Michael and was like, "I'm not in Monty and Turner. What you doing?" You know, and it's like, ooh, like, come on, King, for that one moment, and then it went straight back.
If he had gotten the votes, he would have really changed his position in the game.
He would have. That would have been the move.
That would have been the move. And that's the move that he would stand up at his final two.
Right.
It's like, this is what I did.
Yeah, I was on my way out. All of y'all was ready to vote me out, and you didn't.
Because I don't think Terrence is a bad player like that. Like I
don't think he's a bad player. Person. No. I won't say he's a bad person either, but what I will say is he's displayed some very bad character. And it's not appealing, it's not attractive, and it takes away from the gameplay. Now he is very flip-flop, but if that's the game he's playing, then he's playing a phenomenal flip-flop game. It's the personal attacks, it's the not seeing you lead by example when you have people you want to be the pawpaw, the grandpa, the uncle, I don't know, the daddy, big Showtime DJ, but
it's giving Uncle Tom.
Yeah, no, Tiffany. No, Tiffany, you are so sweet, and I love that about you. I love the fact that you're so sweet and you're so gracious and kind. However, I'm mean. I will very actively say that this man. No, right?
The way
she wrong. Oh, please.
Okay.
Oh, God.
We here.
Grandma.
Right. I will very actively say that man is a bad person, and I don't care. So there's that because I'm not nice. But yeah, he's a horrible, terrible person. But when it comes to the game, it's kind of cute. Like it's kind of cute when he tried to play.
Open the window. But it's hot in here.
But it did not work. It really did not work, and he's still going home. So with that being said, there's gonna be 6 people going into this thing.
Double
eviction child. And that man Michael can't play, so only 5 people can play. If Alyssa wins, from what I understand, her targets are going to be at this point Brittany and Michael.
I think Turner has slipped her back against Brittany
and Michael. Okay,
yeah, and that would be for him to do. They were in Dire Fest together. That was her closest ally, even when Kyle was in the house. So
that's why it didn't make no sense that he tried to drop her like that. It was weird.
Girl.
It's the end of the game, and people get paranoid, and somehow they believe Brittany.
Somehow,
right?
Honestly, they'll never believe her again. She messed up.
Yeah. They should have never believed. Brittany is probably going to target Monty and Turner and fail. That was mean, but she probably will target Monty and Turner.
She can't target them both at the same time. They're going to both play for Veto anyway. So
she would probably attempt. Monty will probably attempt to target Alyssa. Turner, I think, still has this weird thing about Taylor. He's been bitter for a week now.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's because Turner wants to feel like I saved Taylor's game. If it wasn't for me, like people were targeting her, they were coming after her, they were disrespectful. I fixed a situation for you. Then Taylor won HOH, and then she was like, I would put up Turner. He's like, how's she gonna nominate me? I saved her, right? So then yesterday he has a one-on-one with her, and he's like, you would not touch the block. I promise you, you would not touch the block. And he was like, would I touch the block? And she said, probably. Yeah.
And that's the issue with figureheads is because Turner was a figurehead for that week and what occurred that week. He was the person who was in power. However, he was not the person who was in power. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah, he wasn't running his own HOH.
He wasn't. And so
Yeah.
that issue arises because in his mind, he now thinks that he was. He thinks that that was him. He thinks he saved Taylor.
He's not alone in that.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people in the game, I'm gonna just be quiet. But people do think that they made their own decisions.
And I feel like
that's what manipulation, like people don't want to believe that they have
Exactly.
been manipulated.
Yeah.
I think that distinguishes a you know, it kind of is a threshold for the capability that you have as a player. If you can distinguish if this was your decision or if this decision was influenced. And I feel like Turner lacks that ability. So because of that, he's going to be targeting Taylor when he goes into this double. And I think that's kind of, oh, and Taylor is going to be getting that Michael man out. And hey, I support. So going into the double, it's all over the place. We don't necessarily know who's in the most danger, but it's looking like a combination of Michael might be on the block, so with Turner, so with Monty. Everybody is up for grabs, really. So it's going to be an interesting one, and that's tomorrow, so I'm excited.
I do feel like even with everything that's going on, if Michael does not win Veto, Michael is going home. Ain't no way they're gonna put that boy up.
Michael is in danger unless is there anybody who would not put Michael? Brittany, if Brittany won, Michael was not in danger. And that is but is Taylor in danger?
Taylor is in danger if Brittany wins. She's not going I think she'll nominate Monty and Turner if one wins Veto.
Brittany wants Turner gone bad.
She better put up Alyssa.
She should put up Alyssa. She will put up Alyssa.
She put up Turner and Alyssa.
She might put up Turner and Alyssa if one wins Veto, put up Monty.
Yeah.
But that's risky because if Monty wins Veto and takes Turner down, then what, Buki?
No, Monty wouldn't do that because then either Michael or Taylor would go up.
Which he might be okay with.
But then Michael would go up and he might be okay with that. So then you got Michael and Alyssa on the block.
But no, if
but Brittany's not going to do that.
Brittany would only put up Taylor.
Brittany would only put up Taylor.
And Alyssa would just go.
Well, no. If Monty saves Turner, are Turner and Monty going to vote for Taylor to stay?
Yeah, Monty has no game.
Is Turner going to vote for Taylor to stay?
I don't know because Turner been trying to get Taylor.
But Michael will.
Monty and Michael, I think, would say
will evict
Monty have no allegiance to Alyssa, like at all. They don't even talk.
Because Monty's target is Alyssa, and Michael will vote out Alyssa over Taylor.
We hope because
hopefully
Brittany had been talking to Michael about Michael, Brittany, and Alyssa.
I have heard about that.
Happened.
She better keep it cute.
I'm sorry, let me
and keep it real cute.
She better keep it cute. If she went HOH,
now my name being on this board.
Yeah, I wrote it in there. Okay. So we have our player ratings for the week. We are going to go ahead and rate the players 1 through 10. As you see, we have last week's at the top and this week's at the bottom. We are going to start with the last evicted house guest, and we're going to rate Kyle as an overall player. Overall, his game from week 1 to week 9. How do we feel like he is? 1
Why
to 10?
He's still there? He's still relevant? He was in week 9.
We keep it consistent. We've been doing this.
Oh, okay.
So unfortunately, we gonna have to rate him real quick. We really don't have to do anything.
This is Kyle's rating on his eviction week.
This is his rating overall. So after the player is evicted, we rate someone overall as a player. And Tiffany, I promise you, we can skip it. Just say the word.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him.
We really don't have to.
Because I was fine with leaving the best zero, child.
I was too.
I love a good zero.
Okay, let me think. He did help start the leftovers, but then he blew up the leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
Did he win the HOH?
No, he won 2 vetoes, I believe.
He won 2 vetoes. Okay. Yeah, because the Festy Bestie veto he won.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really just trying to think of the moves and the strategies and something that he did besides lay up with Alyssa. And I'm not even trying to be funny. I am genuinely trying to think of something.
I can go first if you want, because I think I have my rating for him.
I'm gonna give him a 2.
Oh, I know that's right. 2 out of what? 10? 2 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm giving him a 2.
Final answer. So I do feel like Kyle has some capabilities of a player because he did help start the leftovers. He I think he did. This is what I like. Something I value in a player is if they're active. And I do think Kyle was consistently active throughout the game when it comes to not consistently, but he had times where he was active where others were not, and I think that did benefit him in some situations. What I don't like about Kyle's game is that being very unloyal in Big Brother is cause for a loss. Even if Kyle made it to final 2, he was very likely going to lose the vote because at that point he had caused so many people to just genuinely dislike him almost as a person because of his disloyalty. He turned on Paloma's pack, he turned on leftovers, and then he was ready to turn on everybody else when he outed Turner as his final 2.
I
So he
don't
would
really
just
mind him
consistently
turning. I
doing
don't
that.
mind him turning on people as long as there's like a plan that benefits your game.
And there was not.
Yeah.
And I think the issue and
That's why the ranking for me for the gameplay.
Yeah. And I think the issue is that he turned for no reason. Like, alongside of the fact that he didn't have a solid plan after turning, he turned for no reason. And honestly, almost all the situations, I love that the leftovers was created, but even in that situation, I think he isolates himself. He in his mind thinks, "Oh my God, Amira's with all these people and I'm not with her, so I got to make something else. Oh my God, Monty Taylor and whoever else, everybody colored is working together, and I'm not colored, so I have to do something else." And it's like, sir, no. So I'm gonna give him a 3. And that was courteous. Lee, what you think?
I feel like I would go with a 3 as well, just because I feel like strategically the moves that he did make, even when they did, backstab some allies that were very close to him, it was crazy because he was still put in positions to where he was set up well going towards the end. Because even the week he got taken out, I mean, if he just was not ignoring Michael that week, Michael would have exposed that tea and he would not have been going home. He would still probably be here going to this double eviction. So it's like, even when he slipped on all of those people, he still put himself in that good position because he's such an active player. But it was just so messy, and it was based on these racial biases that really just made it all crash and burn. So, I mean, it's a 3 for me.
And I do want to say, I feel like a lot of Kyle's, whenever he was in a good position, it was because of his privilege. I think he's viewed as a innocent young white guy when really he's not either any of them other than white. And I think that that's the and I think that that is kind of like an unfair privilege that he had in this game. And I think that
he goes for more so inexperience.
Yes, inexperience, which he is. And I feel like that in many ways. And I feel like that is what accommodated to some of his success. And I don't feel like it was all because of what he was doing. He was doing things, but all of that success wasn't because of that. When Brittany and Michael were ready to trust him, I do feel like a part of that was because they felt comfortable with his archetype and they didn't feel as comfortable with other people's archetypes. And I feel like that's kind of an unfair advantage that he had, which is why I can't give him too high of a rating, but we move because he's not even in the game. Okay. So, Alyssa, we're going to be rating Alyssa. The way the ratings work, it's low key. It's kind of dependent on how you feel because me and Lee don't even use the same criteria all the time. However, for me at least, I rate her based on how she's doing this week. If she has the ability to win, like how great her ability to win is, and just how she's doing as a player in general up to this point.
Okay.
So with that being said, I feel like Alyssa is not doing much at all. Last week I gave Alyssa a 2. Ozzy gave her a 4.5. I don't know what Ozzy was thinking, but we move. I gave her a 2. I can't believe that. But no shade. I love you, girl. But I gave her a 2. And it's giving a 2 again.
Okay.
It really is.
Okay, so I feel like Alyssa this week has been very, very chill and out of the way, which means she is, and she's on the block. And so she's not really up in a lot of drama. She's not spiraling. I give her a lot of credit for that. People actually she's got Michael and Brittany considering this final three, including her, maybe swapping Taylor out for her. Her game previous to this week was really just Kyle. We had not really seen her play. She doesn't do a lot of strategizing. She doesn't seem to know a lot about, that. I'm going to give her because of her ability to get further, even though I hope that she doesn't, just not because not like on a personal level. I just don't think that should be like in the final three. They'll just carry her and whatever. I'm gonna give her a 4. I want to give her a 5.
A 4 or a 5. We do 0.5. You can do 4.5 if you
Yeah,
want.
let's do a 4.5.
And I will say, I think I do want to give her a 3. I was being harsh. But because I'm not a fan. But I'll give her a 3. Tiffany said some of the reasons. Take that.
Yeah, because like she definitely didn't do nothing this week. I saw she's working on her relationship with Taylor, which Taylor, I've been saying Taylor needs to go back and forth too with Alyssa, and Taylor hasn't done it. Alyssa has to go with Taylor to do it, and it's like, well, kudos to Alyssa for doing that. I think she's in a position to where people do want to take her to the end. More people in the game want her now, at least as some sort form of ally, than they don't. And excuse me, her win equity is just growing as she continues to stay in the game. I think she sort of has a story growing as well for herself, and she does have friends in the jury. And if she is in a situation where maybe Mike goes at final 3, he like, bloop, I'm going to take Alyssa because I could be Alyssa, and the whole jury is taken. Well, who the fuck with it? Alyssa with it. Right. So for me, I think it's going to be a 4 because she is moving on up, and I don't see her going this double. Like when it comes to like, this double, like I mean.
If Monty's HOH, I think she goes. But other than that, but I do like what you said because, like I said, I'm a big advocate. In the past, I've said I'm a big advocate of social games, and I don't think it's easy to see social game through the screen, through live feeds and stuff. So I do want to say with Alyssa, what I respect about her game is the consistent talk about how her social game is so good because everyone in the house continuously says it, which means people in the jury say it, which means people feel that way. So she's not playing the game, even though she's all cuddled up with Kyle. Everything in this game isn't strategy. And I do feel like Alyssa is kind of a good example of someone who is playing the social game and not anything else.
She's probably just easy to talk to, she's
that's true.
She's not high strung. She's pretty chill. She laughs a lot. She's probably easy to talk to and be around. It's not like, oh, here she come,
Yeah,
that's true. But that's all I'll say about her. Okay. Next we have Brittany. Who want to start with Tiffany? Would you like to start with Brittany?
Brittany's tanking her game this week. She's not even on the block. Her number 1 is HOH. All she's got to do this week is sit back and chill. And she really was like, no, I'm going to take this plane off autopilot and I'm going to try to drive it myself. And she really took a nosedive, honestly. She is a 3.
Yeah.
Lee?
I'm have to agree with the 3. Like she's just been dropping and dropping and dropping. Like she was at a position to where she was not going to be targeted ever. Yeah. And now people are like, let's get her out next. Like if we can't get out Michael, let's get out Brittany. Like that was not like she hasn't even have the competition ability as a Michael or any of the other people in this game. And they're like, she has to go next. It's like that's not good. It's really not. Yeah, that was just terrible.
Threes all
And
around, y'all.
she's affecting Michael's game. And like Michael's like, I need her here. But I did hear him say before we jumped on, he's like, if Brittany ends up going up on the block, because I think that's what Turner and Terrence were saying, like they would put Brittany up on the block. And then he's like, if she does end up on the block and I win veto, I'm going to pull her off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's one thing.
And so she's making him have to play, but he's probably going to have to play to win veto anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of
whether
he's saving him or him and her.
Right.
That's one thing about Miss Britt Fleece. She latched on to the right one. Okay.
I ain't mad.
She did
not
choose
right.
the right one.
I am not mad.
She chose right. Chose right.
And I feel like the main thing for me with Brittany, at least, is that she's playing to lose, and I just can't reward somebody who's playing to actively lose. Like every move she's doing, like we said, is intentionally to make sure her and Michael
actually don't believe her. I don't believe
you
that
don't.
Nope. I don't believe that she wants to take Michael to the end. I think she wants to come off to America as a super loyal player. I think she wants to come off that she's always stuck by Michael, even though she knew that he could win, and that I think at the end something's gonna happen, and she wants somebody else there to take him out. I don't think she wants to sit by Michael. I think she would definitely get him up out of there if she could, but she does not want to look like she's playing that type of game. She's a super fan. She knows that everybody is watching.
I can see that sentiment. I just feel like since her actions are kind
That's
of
why she's making these final
call,
twos with everybody.
Yeah, she wants it to be oops, somebody else won the final 3 choice, and oops, I made it. But she's still actively working towards second place because the oops she's hoping for is a Turner who's gonna be her or an Alyssa who's gonna be her.
She thinks that she's doing something.
And that's the problem, and that's why she's a 3. Because I also don't agree. I don't like I don't reward. I don't feel like I should reward her as a player when I give this rating. A player who thinks they're doing something when they're really not, because a lot of players there are so many players who be thinking they eating it up. They're in the center of the house. They think they're that girl, and really she's not that girl. So it's a 3, baby. Now let's get to the real players. No shade. Michael is next. Lee, how are you feeling about Michael?
I feel like at this point it's weird because it's like he's in the position. Well, no, I think he's still in the position to where if he does not win, he's going home, which I feel like, can you give him a high score because of that? Because it's like you're in a position to where you have to win, which I don't think is a good position to be in. However, I feel like he's still one of the smarter players in the house, and he's played a pretty solid game up until this point. And I also feel like, who is beating this man? Like I said, it's no question in my mind. Tomorrow he's winning veto, and the next HOH. So I do feel like he could just beast his way to the end. And, and now Monty and Turner's coming to him with this Guys Alliance. He still has the final 3 with Brittany and Taylor. He still has the final 4 with Brittany, Taylor, and Monty. But he still has options. And, they are entertaining the fact of not taking a shot. And Brittany has now made herself a big target, potentially over him. So, I mean, it can go either way. I think I'm just keeping it at a 7 because I would be much higher if I felt like he was definitely staying if he was not able to win. But that scares me because at any time, it's over. And that's just not good.
Tiffany, how you feel?
I feel that this week Michael did a great job. He's HOH. He won HOH and veto. He kept his ally safe. He kept his promise to Turner. But I also do, because I'm trying to see it from his lens. I don't know that keeping Turner was so keeping Turner off the block or not sending Turner out was what is best. So I'm going to take some points off for that. But I know he's keeping his word, so I have to respect that too. I just think that he did lower his threat level a little bit by keeping his word, by being trustworthy. I'm going to give him an 8.
Interesting. I do not agree with his decision this week at all. I feel like he should have definitely either targeted Turner or Monty. Mostly Turner, in my opinion. And I feel like
Even after he told Turner that he would be safe.
I feel like he should have never told Turner he would be safe.
Yeah. I wonder if he misspoke or if he misspoke or it just in the moment he said that, or did he know he was going to make him that promise? I don't think that Michael has made any move in this game without thinking it through all the way a few steps further, and I just don't think that he needed Turner to go home. I think he wanted Terrence.
Well, in all honesty, I feel like just similarly to Brittany, and this might be why they are friends. I think Michael is a little bit flat. What they say about Taylor, like you're pondering to the camera and you want to make the move that's for the camera. I think with them, they're trying to play the game that the fans might see as the most commendable, or you played the most clean game and you kept your promise. I don't think Michael genuinely. I don't know.
I think Michael is doing it more so for the jury than for the camera.
I see that. I do see that. I do see that. However, I still do also think that he's doing it a little bit for the camera. But that's just my opinion. And I feel like that was a part of the reason that he didn't target Turner, and also for the jury. But I don't think that I don't think that this move will define whether he loses or wins. I don't think if he would have targeted Turner and Turner went home, that would have been the reason he lost. It probably would have been a concoction of multiple things, not just because you took out Turner. Baby, you saving Turner means nothing. Nobody really gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. So I just don't agree with the move. I really don't. I feel like because of work that Brittany did that hurt her game, that's why he's staying, which means it wasn't work he did, which is another reason that I don't feel comfortable giving him such a high score, because the reason Monty and Turner want to work with him is because Brittany was going crazy, not because Michael put in work.
I think about it now. I think that Michael might have been more afraid that Terrence and Monty were working together than Turner and then Turner and either one of them.
Yeah.
And so he's like, he may feel that keeping Turner in splits up Terrence and Monty, whereas if he'd gotten rid of Turner, Monty and Terrence could team up and come after Michael. So keeping Turner gives them someone else to come after.
I see. I can see that. And honestly, that kind of makes sense now that I'm thinking about the decisions he was making. He was very strong on
He's thought this out long term.
Yeah.
He is not playing week by week.
That's true. And I feel like that was a wrong read if that's what he was thinking. And with that, I'll be giving him a 6. And we'll see how that goes from now on. I do feel I do like him as a player. I think he might win this competition, but this is what I'm saying. If he does not win both the veto, in my opinion, I think it's most likely that it'll be Turner or Monty who won that veto. And if he goes home because Turner or Monty won that veto and he didn't take them out this week, then that's on you, baby. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm done. How y'all feeling about Monty, Tiffany?
Oh man. He goes up and down. I do think that he gets emotional about Taylor, but he knows really his only ally, the best ally he has. But he think he gets emotional, and I think he is meaning some of the things he says. But I do also think he's coming from an emotional place, and then I also do think that he's like playing the game sometimes to like try to throw off the scent. But gameplay, hand on the block. I don't know that he's the main target next week.
No, nobody's really targeting him because even Alyssa is looking at Michael and Brittany.
He lost the HOH and he lost the veto.
He need a ball.
And if he bring up a ball comp, I am going to give Monty 7.
Okay.
Yeah. I gave him a 7 last week. I think I'm gonna give him a 7 again. His gameplay has really improved over the last few weeks. I think him, like Tiffany mentioned, his wishy-washiness with Taylor is weird, but it does seem like he always settles on, okay, Taylor isn't over for me, and she's someone who needs to be kept safe, which is very smart for him. He's still working on the Michael and Brittany relationship, and he's pretending big in the alliance with them. He has a relationship with Turner. By proxy, he has a relationship with Alyssa. So he is one of the safest people in this house. He has the biggest win equity. Even if Terrence were to stay, that would have been his closest ally. So it's like, I think he set up really, really well. And I feel like, he kind of has that Xavier thing going on where people, I feel like, respect him. So when he's sitting in the end, it's not going to be too hard for him to be like, I did ABC
Nothing.
and I won.
sorry.
No shade! No shade! But yeah, it's not going to be too hard to, get up there and say, whoop, he wins. So, and I feel like at this point, if Michael's not going to win, and if Taylor's not going to win, it will be Monty.
For sure. For sure.
Me, it's a 7.
Yeah, I honestly agree with everything you said. And I genuinely agree, unfortunately, because I'm not a fan. I think Monty's the winner pick for me at this moment. I think Monty's the most likely to win, in my opinion, because of the good position he's in. Like Lee said, nobody is targeting him. He has a lot of relationships around the board. Brittany might target him, but who is Brittany? Be for real.
I mean, you saying he can win sitting next to who? Alyssa and Brittany?
I think he can
and
win.
Turner.
And Turner. That's 3 people.
I think
the top 6.
I think he can potentially win Taylor
lose.
too.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Only because
but no,
I
it's
can see people like Turner, Terrence, maybe even Jasmine,
maybe even Indy.
Man, they gotta respect.
They had this weird little.
I don't think it would be unanimous. I don't think it would be unanimous.
It might be 5-4, and oops, he beat Taylor. So I do think he has a lot of potential to actually win the game, and I think he has the most. I think that a mistake that he can make coming up in these next couple of weeks is not taking Michael out. If he makes that mistake, then I'll, say that he's a 3 or whatever the fuck he deserves. But at this moment, I'm gonna give him an 8 again. I am. I'm so sorry.
See, it's interesting. Michael and Monty both know they need each other in the game. Damn, what if they end up sitting next to each other?
That would be nasty.
That would be real nasty. And honestly, I think Monty could get some votes, girl. Because if you think about it, it depends how they're feeling. But if Terrence does go in and they're a little bit mad at Michael, then why wouldn't Joseph, who was besties with Monty, tell his girls, Jasmine and Indy, who gonna do whatever Joseph wants, to vote Monty? Because Joseph was besties with Monty. That social game will get you a place because of that connection with Joseph. I think Joseph will have the most influence in the jury, which means Taylor and Monty might have the most win equity in the jury because of Joseph. So he could win even against Michael, I fear. So that 8 is there. Next we have Terrence. Now Terrence is on the brink of going home. However, I do think he put in work that was work. But because of the work that he put in the past, he was stifled from actually succeeding this week. He could have flipped Taylor if he wasn't a weird old hater for Taylor for the last couple of weeks, and Taylor found that out. Part of the reason that he's not staying is because of his mingled relationship with Taylor, which had no reason to be mangled. Like, they could have actually been allies in this game, and he is the one who... And it's fucking crazy because he always says it's Taylor's fault and why she can't work with us and da-da-da-da. And it's like, sir, that was you. You forgot?
Yeah, pushed her away.
Right.
She was definitely coming and bringing him all of her information.
And then
she did the same thing with Monty because girl. So I feel like that because of things that he did is the reason that he can't even try to get the votes this week. And that's not good. Last week I gave him a 1 because I don't like him. But this week I will give him a 2, even though he's on the block and going home, because I do feel like that pitch that he made showed a game sense that I feel like gets him that 1 point. But honestly, I really don't care what I give him because he's going home.
Yeah. For me, I've been giving him 2s and 3s the whole season. So it's going to be another 2 for me. He's going home. Finally, and I'm happy about it.
I feel like I'm surprised that Terrence is still there, honestly. And so the fact that he is still there does mean something. He has not played a loyal game at all, but you don't have to be loyal to get far in this game. Um, you do it does help you build allies though, long ones. And and then we do try to base a person's character on how they play this game. So people that aren't loyal don't really get a lot of respect. But he has not played a loyal game, but has still remained in the house. He did win that HOH, that if in a real comp he would have lost it, but he got the furthest along with Michael to win Dire Fest. And then he won the veto when he needed to. He broke up the leftovers. He got Joseph out, who was a big threat. He kept himself off the block last week and Kyle got out, but I didn't like the way he tried to save Kyle. And it's not that I didn't like that he tried to save Kyle. I didn't like the way he tried to save Kyle. I do think that Kyle was better for Terrence's game. So I understood him wanting to save Kyle, but that's what you say. And so you don't try to make it seem like this is school and this is education and this is African American history class. It's not. So I don't like that. And I don't like that. I don't like the way he's played his personal game with Taylor, but I do feel that if he had a better relationship with her, he wouldn't be in the position he's in this week with having to try to convince her. Him and Monty could have had something, but I don't think his game is ultimately terrible. So I'm going to rate him a 7.
Okay.
Let's clarify. So this is going to be a mixture of how this week is going and mostly how this week is going. So since he's going home, Tiffany,
all right, okay. Here, this week I watched Terrence campaign and I listened to his pitches. He even had me a little perplexed as far as what I would do, what I believed he would do moving forward, what I was wondering what Taylor would do and what should she do. I started looking at his game differently this week while he was on the block. So that actually brought him up from where he was. I know he's going home sitting next to Alyssa, but I also don't think that that's a terrible move for the house. And if he stayed, he'd probably be at a fucking 10 for me this week, because how do you go from being on your way out of the door to staying in the door? I do think I saw him play a better game this week. He pitched harder than I've seen a lot of people, even though he just snitched and told everybody's business. But I was hoping that he might keep his word on something. I'm still going to give his if it's not his overall game, this is this week. I give it a 6.5.
Okay.
You
said a 6 or a 5?
Damn. Just
no,
give him a 6. Just give him a 6. We'll negotiate on
it. I'm playing. No, honestly, I see what you're saying, because like we said earlier in the podcast,
I'm just a fair person. I try to be fair. I try to take my own emotions out of stuff, and Libra is my rising sign. I can't help it.
That's my rising sign too, and look what I'm doing.
What's your sun sign, yo?
What you think my sun sign is, Tiffany?
It's some fire sign, Sag, Gemini. What is it?
It's a Libra. I'm a Libra.
You're a Libra?
I'm a Libra and a Libra rising. I am.
But what's your moon?
Scorpio.
That's what's wrong with you. Go to the next person.
Okay. We have Taylor, the queen. Who wants to start with her? Because
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Taylor's game this week, not on the block. Not a target for next week. Been real chill. I like the way she handled the conversation with Monty. Outside, I like the way she handled the conversation with Terrence. I like that she stuck to whether it was right or wrong. She did not let him come and play with her brain. She did not give Brittany all the tea that she had gotten. She's learning from giving Brittany all of her information. but she also still reeled Brittany back in, and she was able to ask her like, hey, why'd you ask me who I would put up like in my final two? Pretty much like, we talked about this, her relationship with Michael and Brittany is still good, and she might have gotten closer to Michael since Brittany messed up, but that is not any credit to Taylor, but it is showing her positioning in that she's next to be the closest to him if he's like this person who is carrying this game. Also, even though she didn't do what Terrence and Monty wanted to do, she didn't break or burn the relationship with Monty or Terrence either. If Terrence leaves and Taylor gets to the end, I don't think that he's not going to vote for her. This week, I'm giving Taylor's game a 9.
Oof. I am too. I can go ahead and say mine because I'm also going to give her a 9. I literally agree with everything you said. And also what I want to say about Taylor is I feel like of the people in this game, her jury management has been the best. And honestly, her jury management has been better than I've seen in a lot of seasons, which is funny because it seemed like Taylor's social game wasn't good. But as you see throughout the season, her social game is one of the best this season. They hated her based on, outside
jealousy.
Sorry. That's what it was.
It couldn't even
No, that's what it was. They hated her based off of jealousy, but when it came to her social game, even Jasmine couldn't help herself but to like her. When she was doing her exit press, she couldn't even help herself but to say that. You know what I'm saying?
Good night.
So I feel like it's it shows that her social game was good, her jury management was great, and honestly, she's that girl. So it's just gonna be a 9.
Yeah.
Period. It might be a 10. Wait a second.
I feel like such a hater because I was not thinking 9.
No, be who you are.
I was thinking 8 just because.
Oh, that's not bad,
and that's fair.
Because I'm scared because the double. I think she's safe going into the double, but there are some weird scenarios that could happen. And I do feel like every week she stays in this house is going to be a fight. It really is because it's going to be so easy to be like, oh, Taylor can go. I hate that because she's been fighting since day one, but she's doing really, really good at it. And the longer she stays, the more she has the ability to win the game, and that just keeps growing and growing. Like, I hope she wins HOH in this double. That would be real nasty for her. But I do think at this point, if she makes it past this double, she's definitely sitting in that final 3 because of the connection she has alone. She has Alyssa, Brittany after fucking up, running back to her. Michael still wants to work with her. Monty knows he needs her, and Turner don't like her, but he gonna do that.
Turner needs to go at the double. I hope Turner goes at the double.
If Turner goes at the double, that is the best for Taylor's game because at that point, nobody in the house will be turning to her.
Yeah.
So Brittany hating ass. Who listens to her?
Brittany will still want to Monty out.
Yeah, I think so.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. But see, I don't want Alyssa too close in that final 3 situation with Michael and Brittany because I can see them be a slit.
I almost am like Alyssa could go in the double.
Might have to go.
Yeah.
And luckily, Alyssa kind of is a target for some of the people. So it's Turner. So luckily, Alyssa and Turner might go.
It's given Turner needs to go to double, Monty needs to win the next HOH, and not Alyssa. And then whatever happens.
Yeah. So we'll see. Last we have Turner. Lee, how do you feel about Turner?
Turner is a follower for the most part. He's proven that time and time again. He's really just going to listen, I think, to the person, like you mentioned, who he feels like is his number one bro. I do think he's been a little bit more active.
I didn't think he was going to say that. Like, I really did not expect that.
I think he's been a little bit more active this week and trying to protect himself. I do like that he made the initiative to go to Michael and spill Brittany's game because that did, put him in a position to where, Michael isn't loyal to this, but, it's put him in a position to where, okay, he's talking to Alyssa more, which he should have been doing, but he's talking to her more. He's trying to extend some of his relationship. He's talked to Taylor. So I think that's good. But, I mean, overall, he just proves time and time again that I think when it comes to really making those choice decisions, he doesn't have the brain for that. So, for me, I'm going to just keep him at a 5.
Yeah, you are so funny. All right. Turner did not get himself on the block this week. He Michael honored that deal, so I don't really too much credit Turner. He didn't win HOH, he didn't win veto, but he didn't get nominated. I don't know that he is anyone else besides Brittany's target next week, and Brittany would have to win first, and her ranking is really low right now. So but Turner, it is true. Turner is like going wherever he needs to go. He's remained loyal to Terrence, but Terrence is about to leave. And so Turner has to find somebody else to stick to. And that's probably going to be Alyssa. But he was ready to throw Alyssa out after finding out about this girls. Because he's safe and I don't know who's coming after him next week, I'm gonna give him a 6.
All right. It's so interesting, like rating players and analyzing people's games, because for me it really shows me that everyone really is in their mind playing the game. No shade to some of the girls, but it's interesting because Turner doing this, choosing kind of that one ally he wants to be loyal to for the time being, is how he's playing the game. Is how he's choosing to try to make it far in this game, and it's kind of worked for him, being the understudy, being the secondary to some to a bigger player, and it seems a little intentional since it's happened so many times, and I think that's kind of interesting. However, I think what it does is over time it diminishes his likelihood of winning. People don't respect Turner that much. As every week passes, his respect level just goes down and down and down, because it kind of becomes apparent that all he was doing was following. Now that Kyle's going into the jury, when he explains what was happening, he's going to be like, yeah, I had a final 2 with Turner, and Turner was going to be with me and Alyssa and da-da-da-da. And they're going to be like, oh, okay. And then if someone else goes to the jury, like if Monty goes to the jury, he's going to be like, yeah, I had Turner, and Turner was going to do this. When he gets to the end, people are going to be like, okay, well, Turner, other than Kyle running you and Monty running you, what did you do? And I feel like, I don't know if he has the ability to express that to the jury. So I just think it's going to be very hard for him to win the game at this point, even if he makes it to the end. So I'm going to give him a 5.
Okay.
A generous 5, honestly. No shade. So that's everybody. Let me put them in order.
It's so less people now.
I know, right? All right. Oh, look at who at the top. I know that's right. So, we have Taylor in the number 1 spot for this week. She is the highest rated player. After her, we have Monty. We love that. Then we have Michael. It's interesting. Why is Monty rated high? Oh, because of me while I'm talking. Then we have Turner, then Alyssa, then Terrence, and Brittany is at the bottom. No shade. I see it, I guess.
Yeah.
I see it. I feel like depending on what happens at the double, when it's the rating before the double, it gets very, very up in the air, because double evictions, you never really know what's going to happen, especially because the challenges this season have changed so much, the competition. So they could do anything. Like usually a double, they have the clown shoot when you got to run in the ball pit and da 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 da. But they don't seem like
that's the veto.
Yeah, that's usually the veto. Usually the HOH is a booth. Wait. Yes, usually the HOH.
And they have not had a booth, so it's probably going to be the booth and the ball pit. We didn't. Did we have that ball pit? Look, I was gone.
I don't think y'all did. I don't think y'all had the ball pit.
I love that. I love that.
Y'all the veto Hannah. The veto Hannah went home on was a mental veto. They had a booth for the veto.
Yeah, that was it was wait. It was like, what is it?
The HOH. The HOH was. Yeah, it was. They might do that again, or they might.
The HOH was to roll the ball up a ramp, and then the veto was what the bleep.
They might do that. Random. They might do something like that.
But
again,
this one is 2 hours.
So when?
The
tomorrow?
First hour? Yeah, the next episode is 2 hours. Yeah, girl. You ain't know?
No.
The first hour is probably going to be a regular ass eviction, and then the second hour is going to be the full double. So they can do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
They love a good 2-hour episode this season. They live for that.
Yeah, it's gonna really matter what the competitions are though, because it really, girl, Michael probably finna win the veto, but the HOH is still gonna be important because that's really gonna determine who goes home. But child.
But that's another thing too. It doubles the skill is usually different, but because they're not doing a situation where it has to be fast, it might not. It still may be similar to the competition he's already won.
Yeah, exactly. So we're done. Shoot. Is there anything else that you guys would like to discuss, talk about, say?
I just want to say thanks for having me, guys. I had a fun time with you.
No problem.
I want to
Thank
say if you want to get this T-shirt, the link is in my bio. And I just want to let you guys know what this means. It's just, it's just a little message. Let people know. Be nice to you because you'll be nice to them.
Oh my God, Tiffany, where can people find you? Where can people?
You can find me on Twitter for your under the BB24 hashtag. You can find me at Absolutely Tiff on Twitter, and you can find me on Instagram at Absolutely Gorgeous, where I post nothing, but I do sometimes.
And check us out at the Reality Kingdom. Next week we're going to be covering the next week's live feeds, the next week's player rankings. Make sure you
hopefully
check that
I'm
out.
Not dead.
You
Hopefully
will not
Lee
be dead.
Feels better. Hopefully Lee feels good. We also are going to be covering the Challenge USA, which Tiffany is not on, so I don't know why we are still covering that. Now that she's no longer there.
You guys are also going to join me on the Winner's Circle.
Yeah, so check
recapping
that out.
my feeds. Yep.
Yeah, so check that out. Shoot, that's it. Bye, y'all.
Bye.